another location. But this is, as I said, quite risky. You see, and on this page, you can see capital cities in different places in India, in Japan. I did not show you, but actually, you may not imagine that in France, they're also changing their capital cities from places to places. It is not always Paris. Paris is the capital city today, but in the past, there may be some other as well in the history. But those changes because of the political force or political view. But in the case of right now, there may be no politicians or no kings who can move the city from one place to another. So that is why I said it is quite risky to change the capital city right now. Let me go to page number 5. This is the list of modern capital cities. Page number 5. This is the case of this, like Washington D.C. Yeah. Kindly go to next page, please. Yes. You may know that, like as we know, in USA we have New York and Washington D.C. In Washington D.C., it is the administrative centers. However, the economic capital city cannot be moved. It is always New York because New York is the stronghold for economic activities. So economic capital cannot be moved, but they just move for the administrative center. That's all. And you will also know in Brazil, I was in Brazil a few times to do valuation of hotels and resort or something in old capital city of Brazil as well. There is old capital city, and Rio de Janeiro was also a former capital city, but now it is Brasilia. That is far from the city, far from the sea. Normally, the economic capital city should be nearby the sea, but this one is in the mountainous area, in the remote area, in the middle of the country, in the middle of nowhere or something. So this is the capital city, but the economic capital city cannot be moved. Or Indian people, our Indian people, we also like to go to Australia. Many of my Indian friends now live in Australia for over 30, 40 years already. I should have been there as well, but no chance. I get married here in Thailand. Otherwise, I may move to the US or to Australia. In Australia, what you can see is that we have Sydney as the economic capital city, and also we have Canberra. In writing, maybe Canberra, but my Australian friends said they pronounce Canberra, Canberra. So this is two different cities, and what we can see is that in Canberra, in Brasilia, in Pretoria, in South Africa, and many other cities, the capital city tend to be really huge and very elegant, very elegant. Particularly the latest one, like Naypyidaw of Myanmar, a huge road. Say there may be road for each 8 lanes at each direction. So there are 2 directions, right? There are altogether 16 lanes or almost 20 lanes. So in this case, there are different lanes. So, and also we're building a very elegant, very big indeed. And this means what? This means that the new capital cities tend to use a huge part of land inefficiently, because they build something really huge and make the pride of the country or something, make the pride of the countries. So in this case, the land use is inefficient. If we want to go from one place to another place, it will be very inefficient and functional, very, not very well. In the case of the function of the city, it is not very well. However, on one hand, it can be planned efficiently, say like in Putrajaya, in Malaysia. They build everything, even the canal, the river. They build the river and then they put the water in. They design everything. But the thing is that administrative capital city, the land use is not so efficient, and the function is very far from each other. If we don't have cars, we cannot go anywhere. We cannot walk because walking is far away from walking distance, unlike in Singapore or Hong Kong or something. So this is something inefficient. So in this list, you can see that Washington DC, Pretoria, Ankara, Canberra, Quezon City. Quezon City is another case that it is not moved away, far away. Unlike New York and Washington DC, unlike Canberra and Sydney, but Quezon City is just say some 20 kilometers away from Manila. So what happened? So then they become merging to each other, become Metro Manila. So the efforts to build the new capital city of Quezon City is failed. At the beginning, when they built, they have a very big, very huge parliament. They have a very huge housing estate for member parliaments. They have huge court, but not many people there. Something similar to the case of Myanmar. And then right now, Quezon City and Manila merged together. So they are not separate city anymore. So the idea to build a new city, a new capital is not really materialized. So this is the case of our failures in the building of the capital city to some extent, because this is the administrative center, the economic center cannot be moved away. Okay, next please. This is also another list since 1960. You can see that since 1960, 1959, we start to have a capital city like Karachi and Islamabad in Pakistan. You may know that before COVID-19, during COVID-19, at the beginning, I was assigned to do a valuation of hotel in Peshawar in Pakistan, and no one else dare to go. My friends in Japan valuers, they are not to go. But my friend, I have a friend, Filipino friend, working there as a commissioner in of the United Nations. He said that I can go. He has people like when he go anywhere, there will be around 6 people around to protect. So he will help. However, because of COVID-19, I could not go. Otherwise, I will go to Karachi or go to Peshawar, that is border of Afghanistan, to value a hotel for my Japanese investors. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if I were there, maybe I could not come back, or maybe I could be kidnapped. So that is the case. And in Karachi and Islamabad, what we can see is that now they are building 2 cities, but these 2 cities is very interesting that it is successful, but in many other cases it may not be successful. So, but maybe because there are so many people there, something like in India. As you may know that my friend, my Indian friend said that in Saudi Arabia, I went to Saudi Arabia in December last year, and formerly Saudi Arabia people, they are not rich. They were not rich before they found oil. So they came to work in Karachi, even come to work in Bombay. But right now, our people from India may go to work in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai or something. As you may know, Dubai population of 10 million, only 1.2 are originally UAE people, but there may be around almost 3 million who are Indian working there. Wow, really amazing. Okay. Next, please. Please go to page number 7, please. So what I like to tell you is that when we build the new capital city, something like in Putrajaya in Naypyidaw or Nusantara is Indonesia. The really risky is that whether it will be an economic waste or not. Economic waste means that it cannot be used like a ghost town or ghost city. Ghost town or ghost city, there are a lot in China. As you may know that in China, they have around 50 million housing units unoccupied. 50 million housing units unoccupied. In Japan, around 8.5 million housing units unoccupied. Quite huge. And in South Korea, 1.5 million 1.5 million units unoccupied. In Thailand, it is around 1.2 million housing units unoccupied. So on one hand, we have no housing shortage. In one hand, we don't have housing shortage. But on the other hand, this means that the market is very weak, very glut. There are not many demands. So this is the problem in this side. But in the case of India, may be different. You may have problem of housing shortage. But in this case of Putrajaya, Naypyidaw, and Nusantara, in this case, in the future, if they build homes but no one there, like in Naypyidaw, very few people living there. So people just be there, have meeting with the ministers or something and come back. They are not staying there, or maybe just staying there in a very short period, not settle down there. There may be some settle down there, but otherwise, this case, it will be some economic waste. So if you are advisor or consultant to real estate developers to invest in new town, you have to study thoroughly whether this new town will be materialized when, and is it soon or not. Say, if it is within 10 years, right now, we should not invest much, or maybe it is not the ripe time for investment. We have to recommend our clients, our investor, not to rush to invest. Otherwise, it will be a big loss. You can see that land price here today, it may increase a little bit, but in 10 or 20 years, the price will be very high. So when they are higher, we should buy, and then it will be a lot higher again. But right now, it may not be much change. So we have to keep this in mind when we are acting like a consultant to our clients. Next, please. And this is another thing is about the break-even point, and is it efficient or too risky or not. This photo, this slide number 8, you can see that this is the master plan for our project in Cambodia. This is invested by an Indonesian investors. You can see this is not a capital city. It is a new town. You see, it is really huge, very huge. So even if we buy a housing unit there, it is really risky because not many people stay there. If we buy there, the price may drop, or the price may not increase substantially like other part of the city. You may know that if we want to buy properties, we should buy in the urban area, because in the urban area or in the city hub, property price will increase substantially. If we buy in the paddy field, far away, remote area, price won't go up, except the periphery, the fringe, that will be high potential for growth. But in the rural area, there will be no increase in properties. But in this sort of new town, at the beginning, they will put the price very high. And when this project fail, the price will drop. So this is something that we have to keep in mind. Next, please. In this, in the next slide, you can see that this is the realistic thing that you see they plan to do something, but in fact, still a lot unoccupied, a lot vacant, a lot they just fill in the land. They cannot do much. So this is the problem of our new town or new capital city or something. If we invest, if we buy a unit, a housing unit there, the price is not going up. Sometimes it may go down. So it is not a wise investment. This is something that we have to keep in mind to tell our clients. Next, please. In slide number 10, you can see that this is the project that I just showed you is around 260 hectares of land, quite big. And in 2006, that is, and right now is almost 18 years already. And there are villa and also some other things, only a few things completed, but most of the things not completed. The drawing and the reality are a lot different. So this is an example that we have to keep in mind. But maybe some other new projects may be successful, but not this one. Okay, next please. In slide number 11, what we can see, this is a development by Korea. Korea are really big investors there as well. And this Korean city, you can see, is very gigantic. It is maybe similar to the size of New Delhi. I mean, in the city proper, really big indeed. So they will build so many things. This may accommodate almost 500,000 people if they can build it successfully. But in fact, it is not the case. You can see this area, it was formerly a paddy field. It was formerly a rural area. There's not much there. So when they build a dream, they are not just building the city, they just build a dream so that we can imagine that what will happen similar to this photo. However, that dream is cannot be materialized. So property price drop and stay there for over 30 years. So this is the problem. You can see in the next slide. In the next slide, what you can see that that is just only a few condominiums were built. Only a few condominiums were built, and also some low-rise residents, that you can see. So we have to assess the market very properly. If the market is not good, we should not invest. Or if we cannot see the real future, we should not go carry on that investment. Maybe you can go to number 9 for the PowerPoint number 9. Number 12. In number 12, you can see some skeleton buildings that already there, but it is not complete. It is an incomplete building blocks. There are so many complete building blocks that will be stay there for a long time. However, you may know that did you see the slide number 12? Slide number 12. In the slide number 12, what you can see is that this is the skeleton buildings. And this skeleton building may stay there for 30 years. It may stay there like for 30 years. However, we won't count the age until it is completed. Say, if the skeleton buildings, we could build until the top already, but the structure may be completed. But the finishing, like architectural work, not yet there. The system works like air conditioning system, lighting system, fire protection system, and many other systems not yet equipped. So if we want to complete it, we have to inject some money, and after the completion, we will count the age. We will start counting the age of the building from year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when it is completed. But if it is not completed, we still don't count the age. Even if the skeleton stay there for 20 or 30 years, it will stay there because it can stay over 100 years for the structures if we do not demolish it. But if we demolish it, that is another story. But if we don't did not demolish it, that building still won't account for the age. You see the building that just show, but if we complete it, putting the walls, putting the architectural works, putting the system works, in that case, we will start counting the age of the building by then, because this skeleton means that it is just complete less than 40% only, okay? Less than 40%. The rest, 60%, not yet inject into that building. So we won't count the age. Next page, please. So we go to page number 13. Number 13. You can see here that these are 8 buildings that incomplete, and there are only around 800 units there. There are 103 units still available for sales, and there are another 7 buildings that still sold out. And this is the case of the foreign investment. So particularly if you are foreign investors, like if I am an investor from India, want to invest in Myanmar, we have to study the market thoroughly. Sometimes if we do not study the market thoroughly, we may just use our own experience from India, use our own experience from Korea, use our own experience from Japan. If we go to the reality in Cambodia, in Vietnam, in Thailand, the situation will be different. So we should not be overconfident. We have to study the situation of the market thoroughly. Okay, next please. Next slide, number 14. This is a new city, okay, Diamond City in Thailand. You see, they are really huge indeed, but this never been completed for over 30 years already. So the developers, they just sell you the dream, but that dreams may not be materialized. If you see anything very gigantic, you have to be very skeptical. We have to be very skeptical that it won't be successful. It might not be successful. It might not be successful because it is maybe uncontrolled or cannot be controlled thoroughly. A lot of risk factors. So this is the case. And then next, that is page number 15. This is another country. This is in Laos. The area with the round shape, very big city, big new city. This is belong to Chinese investor in Laos. Chinese investor in Laos. They leased the land for 99 years. They leased the land for 99 years. But the first 30 or 40 years maybe not much development. It is not a good development because really huge. But in long run, from year number 50 to year number 49, it may be 99, it may be okay. But from year number 0 to year number 50, it may be in trouble. So this is the case of the Laos. So if we invest in that, that should be really interesting and also very dangerous as well. So we go to page number 16, please. Page number 16 is a very basic. It is a very basic. We want to do the feasibility study. There are just 4 aspects of feasibility study, that is physical, legal, marketing, and finance. There are only major 4 things. They are physical, whether the land subsidence or not, or any problem in the land or not. And second one is something legal aspect, like in zoning, how high can be built. Like my own hotel, I can build only 23 floors. That is no more than 8 stories. Yeah, because by law in my area, this is the medium density residential area. I cannot build that high. So next time if you come to Bangkok, you may stay in our hotel here in Bangkok. And this is something about the legal aspect. And the third thing is something about marketing. Is it marketable or not? Is it possible to sell or not? If it is not really possible to sell, this is a big trouble for us. So if we want to build a new capital city, build a new town, a new satellite house, but if we cannot see any real demand on that, there will be a big trouble. But if we can build it, but on the other hand, we can also build the demand. Say, we may try to talk to big firms, big corporations that we will design a CBD, a financial district. We will design a commercial district and put all the big firms together in the same area so that they can work together. Or we have some diplomatic zone that all the diplomatic will be in this area, or we have education zones, and we just ask those beneficiaries to get in. If we can command them to come or persuade them to come, this means that there is demand. This means that marketingly it is feasible. Otherwise, like in the Naypyidaw, like in many other new capital city, it won't be successful. Okay. And the last thing, number 4, is the financial analysis. It should be financially feasible. If it is not financially feasible, it will be trouble for us. So this is something that we have to calculate very realistically when we do this. So let me go to number 17, please. Number 17. Yeah, this is something I just would like to calculate to you. That is, if we build in the case of Buk Than Luang in Laos, that is next to the capital city of Laos, Vientiane. It is east of Vientiane, the big capital city with the round shape of the lake. Yeah. So in this case, I just try to estimate that the plum land price in Vientiane is around 6,000 baht per $6,000 per square meters. Recently, in January, I went to Laos in Vientiane, and I went to assess the farmland in Vientiane, costing over $10,000 per square meters. $10,000 per square meters. But that is in the financial district. Actually, the most expensive land in Vientiane is the location by the Mae Kong River. Vientiane is situated nearby next to the Mae Kong River, and the strip of land beside the Mae Kong River of that Vientiane capital city, most expensive, because there are a lot of business activity, a lot of commercial activities. They have on daytime there can be offices. On nighttime it is the huge night market. So all the tourists will be there. So this is a very prime area, and the land price there should be higher, a little bit higher, maybe more than $10,000 per square meters. That is number 1. Number 2 is nearby the Victoria Gate. The Vientiane Gate looks similar to Indian Gate in New Delhi. Looks similar to Indian Gate in New Delhi. So in this case, that is the second. But here I just try to figure out that in general, the prime area in Vientiane, it may cost around $6,000 per square meter. Okay, $6,000 per square meters. If in the next 40 years, with the increase of around 5% per annum, the land price will increase 5% per annum. In Bangkok, the increase may be around 3% per annum. But in the case of Vientiane, it is developing country that are going faster or growing faster. So in this case, we say that it may be 5% for 40 years. So land price per square meters in Vientiane prime area, it would become 42,420 US dollar per square meters. In the next 40 years, 6,000 will become 42,000. Okay, because of the increase in land price 5% per annum for 40 years. Okay, so this is land price in the prime area in Vientiane. On the other hand, the Bang Thad Luang, by that time, 40 years from now, it will be a lot developed. And we expect that, we assume that the land price in Bang Thad Luang should be around 80% of the prime area price in Vientiane. By that time, now it is very cheap, but by that time, 40 years, since that area may be a lot developed, land price of Bang Thad Luang will be still inferior compared to the prime location in Vientiane. So we expect that to be around 80% price of Vientiane price. So on line number 9, the land price in Bang Thad Luang should be around 33,792,000 US dollar. Say $33,792. So because it is only 80% of the prime location in the hub of the city of Vientiane. So this is what happened. But right now, right now, the land price in Bang Thad Luang, now they are subdivided land, so for people to build office, for people to build hotel or something, but not many demands, So land price when they sell right now, it is around $800 per square meter, $900. So we assume to be around $1,000. If it is $1,000 per square meters right now, and in the next 40 years, it become 33,000. This means that in the compound interest rate, we can see that every year from now, land price in Bang Thad Luang, that is next to Vientiane, will grow 9.2%. 9.2%. You can see the formula on the right, 9.24%. So this is the increase in the land price in that area. So this means that in the next 40 years, land price should be really good. But right now, it is not good. Why? Because no investors who want to buy and do properties, do development over there. There is no networking, unlike in the hub of the cities. That is why land price still really cheap, 1,000. But we can imagine that in the next 40 years, land price over there should be a lot better, because when time goes, we can see that there will be more investors coming into that area, and that is the prime development. It is the prime planned development. So in the case of this planned development, this means that there will be good demand in the future, but not now, because right now, so far as I went to do some valuation in Vientiane, I saw many Chinese investors who want to sell properties and go back to China. Why? Why did they want to go back to China? Because right now in China, they have an economic glut, they have the recession, they have problem. I just went to China at the end of last year, in December of 2 months ago. I see that the economy in China is not witnessed, that the China economy is not that good. So this is the problem in China. But in the next 40 years, when situation recover, everything should be better. That is why I calculate this increase in land price in Bung That Luang, the new city next to Vientiane, will increase at the compound interest rate of 9.2%. You may know how to do that compound interest rate, but allow me to just say something that you already know. That is so that we have mutual understanding. That is why we just put 33,000. That is the price that we expect in the next 40 years, and divided by 1,000, 33,792 dollar divided by 1,000. So it is around 3.3. This 3.3 we square root by 40 years. So in Excel, we just use that figure and square root for 40 years. So in this case, and then we minus 1. So that after minus 1, the figures is 9.2%. You can see on the right, that is C9. C9 is 33,000 divided by C10. C10 is 10,000. And then in the root of 1 divided by C5. C5 is 40 years. So this is the root of 40 years. And then altogether of this divided by 1. So it becomes 9.2%. So this is the calculation for compound interest rate. Actually, we use Excel, but I just try to show you how we do that in practice. So this means that if we invest in Bung That Luang New Town right now, we should not invest, we should not pay 1,000 now. But if when time pass, in the future, the rate of increase, it might be higher than this. This is the average compound interest rate. But right now, it may not increase. It may increase 1 or 2 or 3%, but it will increase quickly in the future. It will increase quickly in the future. So when we can see that if there are the sign for increase quickly in the future, we will invest at that time, but maybe not now. We may invest in the year of 30 or in the year of 20 or 25. By that time, it may be ripe for investment. We have to think like an investors. So we have to think of that as well. For your information, I myself lease a piece of land, say around 4,000 square meters for 30 years. The lease is around $2 million US, at least for 30 years. And then I built my office around 10,000 something square meters. And in that case, yeah, it cost me another $4 million US. 2 million for land for 30 years and building around 4.5 million US. So put all together, I can occupy it for 30 years. So I put floor number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I myself stay on floor number 8. So this is my investment because I think it should be a right time for investment. At that time, it was during the COVID-19. During the COVID-19, many people may not see the future, but we expect that if after the COVID-19, people, tourists, the economy should be better. So we built it and then we finish it. The opposite of my buildings, right now I also built a hotel that is on my freehold land of around 1,000. What I can do is I build 8-story hotels around 90 rooms in that case, and also office building in the front. So that is my own investment. So when I think it is the right time for investing. Yeah. So next, please, page number 18. On page number 18, you can see that this is in China. And also happened in the US. In the US, there is a association of demolition world. Demolition world. There are a lot of demolition like this. So because this is an economic waste, they finish the construction. Unlike the building in Cambodia, they haven't completed. But this one already completed, but they knocked down because there is no demand. Oh, so very sad. So you see, this case, it is very sad that they have to demolish. Yeah. So we should not allow this to happen to our life. If I invest and we have to demolish because of no demand, it should be very bad indeed. That's why for us, we may have to be very cautious. We have to be very scrutiny before we invest. We have to see the financial feasibility. We have to see the marketing feasibility. We have to see the legal feasibility, and also we have to see the physical feasibility. Okay, so this is in the case of our demolition in China and also in the US and many other places. Next, please. We are going to at the end very soon. This is what? This is the loss of unsuccessful project. For example, if we build a big satellite town or a big complex, say land cost maybe 150 something, okay, and the building cost may be around 200, and this land cost and building cost, when we put together, it will become 350. 350, we can consider them to be hard cost. And we also have soft cost. You see the soft cost. The soft cost is the percentage of this case of hard cost. And we calculate the soft cost to be around 40%. Can be around 30%, 40%, 25%. This soft cost consisting of what? The soft cost consisting of administration, interest, tax, or miscellaneous. Okay, so these are and also the net profit. The net profit. In this case, the soft cost is 40%. In this 40%, there may be some 15% or 20% of net profit. Another 20% may be administration or interest and tax. So altogether are 40%. Okay. In Thailand, listed companies, real estate listed company will have the capitalization rate, the profit of around 20%. Okay, quite high. So in this case, in year number one, if we invest by buying a piece of land, $150 or 150 something, and we put the building of 200, and then the soft cost is around 140. So altogether, the value of the project by cost approach, it is simplified to be 490. Okay, and the value may be 490. However, if the next 5 years, the construction is not complete, not quite completed, but no demand, no one live there, no one use it, or very few people use it, and eventually we have to demolish something like we saw on page number 18. We have to demolish. So the building cost, the building value will be disappear, and the management, the soft cost also disappear. But at least the land price is there. Land price is there, and the land price will increase from 150 to 324. Why? Because we said that the land price may increase. In this case, we average around 8% per annum. 8% per annum for 10 years. It will become 324. And then we have to have the demolition cost, maybe 10% of that cost of the building. So in this of the land price at that time, so the property price after the demolition is 291 because land price increase, but we need to deduct the cost of demolition. In Thailand, the cost of demolition is around $1. Oh, sorry, is around $0.3 per square meters. Say a house. In the case of a house, the demolition of a house, $0.3 per, sorry, not $0.3, $3 per square meters. $3 per square meter in the demolition of a house. But in demolition of big buildings will be a lot more, maybe $10 or something per square meters. So this is a high price. And if you want to know the cost of construction in Thailand, you just go to our website, Thai Appraisal and Estate Agent Foundation. Thai Appraisal and Estate Agent Foundation. You can see the cost of construction. You can see the standard capitalization rate for different properties. You can see the ball tree cost. Ball tree. I mean, we do not grow tree. We buy tree and put into another location, like in housing estates. So we have standard price of that as well. So you can enjoy these figures at our website of the Thai Appraisal and Estate Agent Foundation, or in brief, Thai Appraisal Foundation. Okay. So this is the calculation for this case of the loss of unsuccessful projects, that you can see that it is a big loss. Year 1 is 490, but in year 10, it is reduced to 291 because of the cost of the demolition, as well as the demolition of the buildings. Next, before we complete, this is the page number 20. In page number 20, what you can see here is this is the diminishing return. Say, after we enjoy the properties, on one day we have to dispose it, we have to sell it, because the return may not be good enough already. Say, from year 1 to year 10 that we enjoy our properties. This is normal properties, okay? Like an apartment. In year 1 and year 10, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 9, 8, and 9, and 10, the property price is going up and the maintenance fee may be low. Okay. But from year 10, we may have to have a lot of sinking fund for demolition, not for demolition, for maintenance. In this case, the rate of return will be lower. So this means that this is the diminishing return. So by that time, we may have to sell it. Something like a car. If we buy a new brand new car is one thing. And if we use it for 5 years, we should sell it, because the cost of maintenance will be a lot higher then. Yeah, so we sell it. It's okay. Yeah, so this is something about the diminishing return when we occupy properties. Say in this case, or in the case of new town, in the case of successful new town, okay, at the beginning price will be going up, and then the capitalization rate will be high. But then after for a while, say 10 years or something, we may need to dispose of it, because the cost of maintenance will be a lot higher then. So in this case, the return will be not high. Say normally the return may be around 6% per annum, but then during the period that they show the diminishing return, the return may be lower than 6%, maybe 5%, 4%. So this means that we won't get much money, so we should sell it. Something like trees. In your case, you may be valuing trees. Like I value a lot of trees, like a rubber plantation, lychee, or many other things, or agar wood. We can see that trees, if we have the rubber trees, we can use it for 25 years. after 25 years, we can still get the rubber, but the return will be lower and lower and lower. So after 27 or 25 years, we should chop down and then grow a new one. Okay, so this is the case that we have to consider. We need to chop down so that because that period will be diminishing return. Okay. Last thing is that if we consider the depreciation when we calculate for our clients, we all know that the depreciation are three things. First is the physical deterioration. Second is the functional depreciation. And the third one is the economic obsolescence. In the case of physical deterioration or depreciation and functional one, these two are inside the properties, like, but the economic obsolescence are something about the environment outside the properties. And the case of depreciation physical and depreciation of functional, they can be something that fixable or something that curable and something incurable. So we have to see which one is curable, which one is incurable. Particularly during our diminishing return period, so that we can see whether we should fix it or we should dispose it. Yeah, if we should dispose it, maybe no need to fix. But before we sell the house, we may need to do some decoration, like something like ladies, when we go out of the home to a business outside, maybe they have to wear their makeups so that they look more beautiful. If they don't do any makeup, they may be not good enough to show up in the public. So that's why before we sell our property, before we dispose our property, after we enjoy the good period, we have to do some not facelifting, but we have to do some decoration. We have to clean up or something before we sell it. So this is something our valuers should keep in mind. So last page, please. Last page, please. The last one, please. This one, the last one is I already told about this, the depreciation. Yeah, the last page. I'm very proud of this photo. When I went to Nagpur, and I went to some historical places nearby there. That is the Independent Day of India. Independent of the Day of India. So I saw many young men holding the flags. So I borrowed them to show waving the flag as well. So this is I am proud of myself to be in India. So thank you very much. Any questions so far or any comments? Heidi, tell me. Any comments or any questions so far? This is already 1 hour. Maybe it's time for you to go for lunch or something. I don't know. But in Thailand, it is now 12:32. I should have lunch at 12, but no worry. My wife is waiting. No hurry. She having her buffet lunch already. I just follow her. No hurry. Any comment or any question so far?
Sir, I want to know that if I want to invest in Thailand, what are the best area we can invest?
If you come to invest in Thailand, first you can buy apartments. Apartments you can buy up to 49% of the building. And in the case of buying land, if you bring in around 1.3 million US dollar for investment, you can buy a piece of land to build your own house. You can lease a house for 50 years. If in the case of the Eastern Economic Corridor, our special economic zone, you can even buy land in that area. So, but normally Indian, they think they like to buy condominiums because this is freehold. If you buy in Vietnam or if you buy in China, they just allow you to stay there for 70 years. But in Thailand, it is freehold.
Okay, one more thing. Can I get any loan facility from the government if I invest? Suppose in say a flat I have invested or something like that, our house is invested, then can I get some loans from the government?
Loan, you can get loan from commercial banks.
Commercial
Forex,
bank, yeah.
commercial bank will allow you to have loan. However, they have some limit. Say maybe they give you loan for 50% of the
50
property value.
percentage.
Yeah.
Okay, 50% is good thing. And
Yeah.
I heard that if I invest, then the 50% loan I get, that will be covered by the rent, which may be fetched from that property. Is it true?
If you buy new properties,
Yeah.
the price will be very high. In that case, the repayment will be high. But if you buy second-hand condominiums, many second-hand condominium, very few people stay there because they just bought it for speculation or something, and now they want to sell it. In that case, the price will be say maybe 20% lower than the new
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
In that
Okay.
case,
Yeah.
if you buy that one, it should be a wise investment. For me, I always buy second-hand house, second-hand office, except the new hotel that I built and new office I built, because it is tend to be cheaper and closer to the city compared to the new one.
Okay. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
So you're welcome.
For asking question. Any other questions do we have?
Okay, there may be no more question. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak. If there is any opportunity, just tell me. I always happy to be part of the Indian communities, and hope we have closer cooperation in the future, and hope you are doing well to develop our profession, our profession in India, so that we are more accepted by the society. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice
Thank
day.
you, Dr. Sopon. Thank you so much. Thank you all the valuers. We also have a 2-hour session from 3 to 5 p.m. If anybody would like to, if those who have registered, they must have got the link. And if any other people would like to take the session, they can register and join the session.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.